Hello everyone, welcome to Success Education. Today we'll be doing the Gala Model Question Paper of English for paper number 2, section B. First is the poem comprehension, question number 13. Where is the tiger as described in the uh, last two stanzas? Is he helpless there? How? As described in the last two stanzas, the tiger is in the cage. The tiger feels helpless and is in despair inside the cage. A tiger is a symbol of power, fierceness, and regality, but inside the cage he is just a weak creature. 14th one. What do the last two lines suggest? The poet says that in the night, the tiger stares at the shining stars that are shining freely in the sky. The poet here implies that the tiger is sad, and as he is confined in the cage, he is helpless and cannot do anything. Next is select the correct figures of speech from the options given. 15th one, still reaches like a voice into the rooms. It's option number C, simile. 16th, but mustard fled with a terrified yelp. It's option number B, transferred epithet. Now answer the following questions in 5 to 6 sentences. 17th one, and saved some part of a day I had rued. Explain. This question is taken from the poem Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. This poem tells that even a simple moment has a large significance. Both the crow and hemlock tree in the poem signify that the poet was not in a good mood, and so he describes the dark, depressive, and bitter side of nature to present his similar mood. The poet says that he has saved his some part of the day. By that he means that the little incident brings about a sudden change in the state of his mind. His mood has changed and he thinks that it has saved the rest of his day, and he got busy with his work like the crow. 18th one. Describe the characteristics of a chameleon. This question is taken from the poem How to Tell Wild Animals by Carolyn Wells. The poet's some dangerous ways of identifying wild animals. The suggested ways create humor in the poem. In the poem How to Tell Wild Animals, the poet says that a chameleon is a lizard like reptile. However, both are different as it does not have ears and wings like lizards. And the most important thing that makes it different from lizard is that it can change its color and thus becomes invisible. If we find nothing on the branch of a tree, then there will be a chameleon because it has changed its color. 19th one. What does the girl yearn for? What does this poem tell you about Amanda? So, this question is taken from the poem Amanda by Robert Klein. The poem focuses on the upbringing of a small child whose name is Amanda. It focuses on the struggles which a child is facing. The girl, that is Amanda, yearns for freedom and solitude. Her parents are always telling her how to behave and what to do in order to groom her well. However, Amanda perceives their scolding as restrictions on her freedom. The poem tells us that Amanda is a young, a restless girl with a vivid imagination. Even as she is being scolded by her mother, her mind wanders to imaginary scenarios where she is a mermaid, an orphan, or Rapunzel. Now, the or question is, how are animals superior to human beings? This question is taken from the poem Animals by Walt Whitman. In this poem, the poet admires animals for being better than human beings. The poet wishes to live with animals and to experience a life where no one complains and where everyone is free of sins and sorrows. According to the poet, animals are superior to human beings because they are satisfied with their lives. They do not care about anything and instead enjoy their lives. They do not have greed for materialistic things. They never commit sins. On the other hand, humans are always dissatisfied, greedy, and always try to possess worldly things. Humans commit sins and then weep in the night. This is why animals are superior to human beings. Now we have the supplementary reading question answers. So 20th one, Noodle avoids offending think tank, but at the same time he corrects his mistakes. How does he manage to do it? This question is taken from the lesson The Book That Saved the Earth by Claire Bayako. The play is all about the imaginary world. The characters of the play are Think Tank, Noodle, Ope, Omega, etc. They are the Martian living beings. The time set of the play is the 20th century. Think Tank is the head of the Martian crew trying to invade the Earth, and Noodle is an apprentice. Though Noodle avoids offending Think Tank, but he corrects his mistakes as well. He does so in a polite and humble tone and doesn't point out Think Tank's mistakes bluntly, but gives suggestions only. When Think Tank calls the books sandwiches and orders Captain Omega to eat it, Noodle does not interfere. After the sergeant bites the book and finds no taste in it, Noodle suggests that they were not for eating but for communication. Just then, Think Tank orders the crew to listen to the books. When no one hears anything, Noodle politely suggests that the books are a means of visual communication. Noodle becomes the savior once again when he suggests the crew to take vitamins for decoding the content. This is how Noodle manages to correct Think Tank's mistakes without offending him. 21st. Why does Mrs. Hall find the scientist eccentric? This question is taken from the lesson Footprints Without Feet by Herbert Wells. It is a thought provoking story about a scientist named Griffin. The story revolves around the rare formula of invisibility developed by the scientist. He developed a drug, and after swallowing it, he was invisible. Though he became invisible, no one felt him physically. The scientist, that is Griffin, booked 2 rooms at a local inn in the village of Iping. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, tried to be friendly, but she found him eccentric when he told her that he had come to Iping for peace and didn't want anyone to disturb him. So she was confused that why he didn't wanted anyone to talk to him. 22nd. What kind of a person is Madame Loisel and why is she always unhappy? This question is taken from the lesson The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant. In this story, Mrs. Loisel lost the necklace that she borrowed from her friend. Instead of confessing it, she got into more debt and poverty to repay the amount. The story tells us about the negative effects of pride and vanity and emphasizes the importance of being content with what one has. Madame Loisel is a beautiful woman born in a poor family of clerks. She is simple but always unhappy. Her unhappiness is because of her desire to afford the world's riches and be adorned by the same. She is unhappy with her lifestyle and keeps daydreaming of the finest days of luxury. She is unhappy as she is not born in a family of rich people. Now the or question, who befriends the lawyer? Where does he take him? This question is taken from the lesson The Hack Driver by Sinclair Lewis. This is a story of a lawyer who, after completing his graduation, started working with a famous firm in the city. He was working as an assistant clerk there. One day he was sent to New Mullion to find Oliver Lutkins, who was a key witness in some cases. How he tried to get the witness is the story all about. A delivery man at the station befriends the lawyer. He takes him to Fritz' shop initially, where Lutkins usually goes to play poker. Then they go to Gustav's barber shop, the Main Street Gray's barber shop, and Wade's Hill. Finally, he takes him to Lutkins' mother. The delivery man offers help on his own, though in lieu of money. And here we come to the end of section number B. I hope you have understood the complete section. If you have any doubts, you can write in the comments section. I'll surely try to answer all the questions. Thank you for watching my video and do subscribe my channel for more updates. Thank you.